What's up, Wallet Monkeys? Welcome back to the channel. So here we are, 2023. I figured let's do an update on Truist because we've got two recent approvals that I wanted to share with you. Over $50,000 in approvals. So I think you're gonna like this. Stay tuned. All right, so welcome back. Now, let's talk about Truist. So we've shot now 4 videos on the channel, and it's kind of wild because here we are now, 2 years after we first talked about this when it was back at BB&T before they merged with SunTrust to form Truist. There was this hustle essentially that you could do where you could go and get pre-approved, and they had 3 cards I think at the time, and if you got pre-approved for all 3 cards, you would actually get the same credit limit on all 3 cards. You would go ahead and get approved for all 3 cards with 0 hard pull. So that game continued as soon as they merged with Truist. The whole thing went down for like a couple months and then it came back, but that still applies. Now, there's nuances to it. It's not so simple, right? And if you don't get all 3 cards, like, who cares? If you get 2 or 3, but 2 are personal and 1's business, like, none of that should matter, right? Again, because what we're talking about is such a large amount of credit that you're getting off of such a low amount of effort. So, again, if you don't get exactly the right combination, don't complain, okay? What's kind of changed with it is, first off, it's better to go into the branch. I feel like I've just seen consistently better data points coming from the branch. You can sign up for a checking savings right there on the spot, brand new account on the personal and business side, and get approved for credit cards right there on the spot. We had somebody who just went in last week, got approved for a $20K business card and a $9,000 personal card, and they have a second personal card. All done right there, 1 hard pull. So 3 cards, we're talking about, if they're both 9K personal cards, we're talking about almost $40,000, walked in, walked out with that on a Saturday afternoon. No muss, no fuss. That's an example of it going extremely smooth. Now, sometimes when you fill out the application, the pre-approval online, it will stop you. So after it's showed that you qualify for all the cards, and then you try and click through on one of them, it'll take you to a page that basically says can't continue. There's some sort of ID isn't verified, or it's basically not matching up. All that really means is going to the branch. So if you have any issues with the pre-qualification on the website, you probably should just go into the branch and try it there, right? So another thing too is that I don't know if like the sales reps get paid off commission or something, or if they just want to see more people get credit inside the bank, but you usually do pretty good when you go into the bank and you talk to them directly, right? So like I just shared with you, 3 cards, 1 hard pull. Now online you might get no hard pull. Like, do you really care if you're gonna get 1 hard pull but you get 3 cards, $40,000 in credit? No. Okay, so again, like expectations, all of that, you need to work on that so that you're setting your expectations correctly. So anyways, the second one I wanted to share with you is Q. I don't know how he got the VP's personal email address, or not personal email address, but Truist email address, and we've got all that blacked out, but he has access to the VP of Truist, and he applied directly with them and was communicating with them and got approved for a $20,000 card, which again, at a institution like Truist, it should have been harder for someone like Q with how much total available credit he's got. It should have been harder for him to get that than somebody with a bankruptcy or somebody that's rebuilding and has got it at 640. It should have been harder for him to get that card. Please understand that. So everyone thinks that, he's got like 800 credit score and he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars of credit, like that should make it easier to get credit. It doesn't. On the personal side, it makes it harder. Yeah, because he did it this way, that he got a hard pull. Okay, so they hard pulled Equifax. Okay, so here's another look at it. And I don't know if it was a personal or business card. Let me double check. Okay, so I just double checked, and this is actually a business card. I didn't know this, but he also applied for a personal card, which he has high hopes will be approved, and I assume it will be too. Understand that, like with the other case study I was just sharing with you, he went in and he got approved for all 3. He got 2 right there on the spot, and the third one, they hadn't gotten like approval back on yet. So I don't know what the limit was on that, and that's why I don't have any information on that. So Truist is a little bit different in that sense, like they'll do the same thing. So the same thing happened here. He approved for both a business and personal. The business was approved at this credit line of 20,000. The personal, he's assuming will be approved. We don't know when, and we don't know what the limit is yet. If I get that information before we publish, I'll insert it here right now. Okay, other than that though, I believe he did get a welcome bonus too. $200 welcome bonus for spending $2K in 3 months. Outside of that, like, think of how crazy this is. We've been talking about this now for several years. There's other channels that have now published data on this. I mean, it seems like everyone knows about this and it's still active. So I think this is an example of a bank that hasn't been swayed, or maybe there just hasn't been enough people, which I find hard to believe. But regardless, they have not made changes to that process. And it is a very, very, very consumer friendly process to be able able to go and get available credit like that so easily. So anyways, I'd love to hear your experience with Truist, your thoughts below. And as always, thanks for watching. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet, right there. Okay, bye.
Wild monkey!